Hello friends, welcome to the S-Film TV channel. Today we are going to discuss the important events of episode 6 from season 2 of The Rings of Power. By noting these points, you will enjoy watching the series even more, so stay with us until the end of the video.
Middle-earth. Our armies cannot defeat him. I can help you destroy him.
Father, take off the ring.
We start episode 6 at a point where a few orcs have apparently escaped from the camp of Adar and are leaving the area, only to be killed by Arondir. After this, Arondir finds a map in one of their clothes, which if we look closely, we realize is a map of Eregion. This part of the map shows the capital of Eregion, the city of Edel, which is known as the Galdor's fortress. There's also the Glanduin River flowing next to it. It seems the red markings on our map are of great importance. For example, the X at the bottom of the map might indicate the location of the Adar's camp, while the red areas are places where the main orc attacks are planned or where the city will be besieged. In fact, I think this is more of an attack map rather than a precise location of the city. Now we move to Eregion, where Celebrimbor is working on forging 9 rings for the Elves, but it seems he hasn't achieved very good results. The visuals suggest that there have been many errors in the experiments, and there isn't enough ammunition and tools to advance the goals. Celebrimbor is under pressure and constantly losing control, even experiencing memory lapses until Anatar or Sauron arrives. After releasing the Elven Smiths, he has a brief discussion with the Lord of the Smiths. Celebrimbor clearly admits that he forgets even small things and lacks proper mental peace, mentioning he doesn't even know where he placed his hammer. If you pay attention to the first shot, the hammer is not on the table, and it appears with Anatar's gesture, which suggests this might be one of Sauron's spells that have ensnared Celebrimbor, pushing him towards the creation of the final rings. In fact, the Elven Smith is also determined to forge all 9 rings because he believes the flaw seen in the 7 dwarven rings can only be resolved by completing the remaining 9 rings. On the other hand, his ambitions drive him to continue his work. During this mental breakdown, he concludes that completing the remaining rings is the priority, not anything else. Since he is not focused on managing the city, Sauron happily takes over the oversight of Eregion and is guiding it toward its downfall. While the Elven Smith explains to Anatar about the dwarves' failure to deliver Mithril, we see that the table for forging the 9 rings has been set up again to start the work. On this device, there are 4 sections on the left side, one facing Celebrimbor, and the other 4 on the opposite side of the table, indicating the forging of the 9 rings. Here, Anatar comes out to speak with the people of Eregion. Before anything, the camera draws our attention to the statue of Feanor, Celebrimbor's grandfather and the greatest smith in the history of Arda. This precious gem in his hand is one of the Silmarils, the Silmarils being the greatest achievement in Elven history, created by Feanor in the Age of Trees, which contained the light of the 2 trees. All the events of the First Age and the War of the Noldor Elves against Morgoth, the first Dark Lord, revolve around the Silmarils, one of which we see in this scene. The hammer in Feanor's hands alludes to the famous hammer we saw quite a lot in Season 1, the hammer that forged the 3 Silmarils. Given this scene, it appears that new and serious problems have arisen on the journey to Eregion. As the body of an elf arrives with a message carved into his skin, written in an unknown non-elvish language, saying, "Where is he?" It seems they are searching for Anatar. Again, in this scene, we witness a conversation between Sauron and Miriel, showcasing Anatar's deceptive skills. He easily influences the other party with a few words to ensure that no one disturbs Celebrimbor. Such scenes not only familiarize us with the Dark Lord's deceptive methods, but also connect to previous moments in the series. Initially, Sauron convinced Celebrimbor that he could forge all 9 rings alone, and now he is orchestrating the plan to ensure that no one interrupts him. Meanwhile, he is effectively managing the city of Eregion in place of its lord, and his plans are proceeding favorably. I must admit that every time Sauron's deceptive power is effectively portrayed, my interest in watching the series increases, and I believe this is one of the strengths of the Rings of Power. Now Anatar goes up to the wall to observe the situation, and in the distance we see smoke rising from the orc camps, indicating that a large group of them is preparing for war. Anatar's satisfied smile suggests that his plans are coming to fruition and will soon bear fruit. His role here is that, seeing he can't unite the orcs, he came to Eregion to hit two targets with one shot. He can both forge the rings of power and lure the orcs and their offspring to confront the elves. Many might wonder why Sauron wants the orc attack to occur during the forging of the rings, not after. My guess is that he is trying to synchronize the acquisition of the rings with the presence of the orcs, hoping to gain their trust because at some point, the orcs must be brought to serve the Dark Lord. And where better than this moment when two dramatic events could unfold simultaneously for him? Of course, this is just my opinion and we have to wait and see what happens in the upcoming episodes. This was the first part of the analysis of episode 6 of The Rings of Power. The second part will be available on the channel. If you found this video helpful and enjoyed it, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel to support me. Thank you, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.